What's up, guys? Today, my wife Kara and I are going to discuss our biggest fears we had with getting a Cane Corso.
I had a lot of them.
But before we get into the video, we need big guy in here. Bruce Wayne! I don't know where he is.
Hello?
Hello?
Sir?
Mr. Bruce Wayne! He must not have heard me.
Scooby-Doo.
He's coming. What's up, dude? What's up, buddy? Wiggles. Look at this. Tailspin. Tailspin.
Hey, Biggins.
Tailspin.
Oh, right on my lap.
It's like, I love my dad. I'm gonna use my mom to sit down on her.
It sounds pretty accurate.
Does mom make a good seat? Yeah, she does, doesn't she? Yeah. We all know who he loves more.
Hey, can you see this?
I see this. He's literally like sitting on
He's
you.
literally on my lap.
You're like a seat. But before we get into the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, ring my ding-a-ling so you miss any of the newest videos on Cane Corsos or Bruce Wayne. He's never impressed with that.
Is this where we're staying?
I think we might have to stay like this.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty comfortable right now.
All right. As you guys know, it took, man, my microphone's like right here. So that's why you kind of see my head moving around. So apologies if Big Head is blocking some of the sound, so you don't get that crisp audio you normally get. But you get to look at a pretty girl in a pretty Corso and a scrub, so it's all good. Biggest fear number one, I actually discussed this in my last video and did a whole video on it, so make sure you check it out because I feel like it's a very important video for people looking to get a Cane Corso. How will I handle him working from an office 10 hours a day? I had to work a 9-hour day and it was a 30-minute drive each way. That was my biggest fear personally. I'm not gonna get into details because I just did a video on it, so make sure you check that out. And I think that was one of your fears too.
It was because we were both working all day long and not knowing the breed. I didn't know how they would handle being home for that length of time, if it was appropriate or not to have this breed when we were both going to be at work all day long.
Things worked out, as you can tell, just fine. I worked from an office for the first year and a half of his life. I currently work from home with my new job, and everything worked out great. I'm not going to go into detail of exactly what we did just because I just did it in the previous video. Make sure to check that out. But that was my biggest fear. My absolute biggest fear.
So one of my fears...
Are you just laughing at him because he's like sitting on you and just like...
Yeah. One of my biggest fears, as silly as this may sound, but learning about the breed, I was worried he wouldn't like me. Like, I was worried because dogs always love Jason, but I wasn't sure that he was gonna like me. I didn't know that we were gonna want to print screen his face on this killer sweatshirt.
Look at how
right
sexy
here.
this shirt is. Look at, dude, you look good on this shirt.
How can they get that sweatshirt?
Check out my merch spots down below. You can get yourself a sick Corso shirt.
I don't know why. I just had this fear that he wouldn't like me and that we weren't gonna connect.
And how did that work out for you?
I think he likes me. I'm not gonna lie.
Her exact words, I feel like I birthed this dog. I love him so much. Am I right here?
It's true. He just loves us equally. I feel like he treats us like equals.
Yep.
And he needs both of our love and attention. So that fear was kiboshed real quick.
Like I said, I work from home. He is not happiest until we're all home on the couch. Like this breed is a pack-oriented breed. He can be left home alone all day long. It's fine. He doesn't get into things, but he's absolutely happiest when it's a family. If you're thinking about getting a Cane Corso, just realize that they're not going to be the dog that does not follow you everywhere you go. They will be with you pretty much all day long if you're home, following you from room to room, laying by your feet. So if you're not into that, then definitely don't get one of these guys.
I think this proves they're a lap dog.
Fear number 3.
I was concerned if I was going to be able to be seen as a leader with this breed because it is very important that all parties are seen as a leader. And kind of stemming from that last fear, Jason's always been a clear alpha in life and with dogs, if you will. Me, not so much. So I knew going into having this breed, it was going to be extremely important for me to establish being confident and being a leader around him, and that he would be able to view me as a leader because he is much larger and stronger than me. And I think he knows that too. So it was important that he was able to look at me as a leader and be able to follow my commands.
And that was one of my fears as well, was will Kara be able to be the leader like she just said and listen to what I have to say? Because as she said, we have to be on the same page. So if I see the dog acting a certain way or behaving a certain way, coming from the way she's acting, I need to be able to be like, hey, Kara, he's acting like this because you're treating him like this or giving him too much love or you're not feeding him, I'm feeding him all the time. And I needed her to be able to listen to me and follow through with what I said, which she absolutely did. We were 100% on the same page with this dog.
It was totally new for me, though, in terms of that leadership role and having to actually hold back on the amount of love I give him, or
even now still.
Even now,
I have to remind her.
I have to remember that it doesn't always benefit the dog to be all lovey-dovey 24/7. It's not good for them. So I still need those reminders from Jason, and even though I might be annoyed when he reminds me of it, it is accurate and it's valid. And the more we work together as a team and kind of being team leaders and the same style leader was extremely important to be consistent, and it clearly worked.
And right now I'm showing him love, we're petting him or hugging him because obviously we want him to be here on video with us, and he's just acting so good. It's like, okay, we like this behavior, so I'm gonna, even though he's using my wife as a chair, as a lawn chair, I don't mind it. He's probably keeping you warm.
He is.
He's keeping her warm. So that's why I'm sitting here patting him and loving him, and he knows that this is a good behavior. He's behaved.
Fear number 4 for me was not totally understanding what a guardian type breed does. I was concerned that we'd never be able to have anyone over at the house again, because in my mind I was worried that this dog would just attack anyone that came over, would bite them, could potentially injure them, and that we'd never be able to have anyone come over again.
And I wasn't really worried about that because I knew if we fully trained him, like absolutely trained him 100%, that we would be able to bring people into the house, which we can. Now, don't get us wrong, if somebody comes over that he doesn't know, he's going to sit there and bark at him for about 30 seconds to a minute until we tell him to sit down, and then he calms right down.
He even barks at me when I come home from work.
Yeah, anybody that walks through that door, he's charging at you, growling, freaking out until he sees who it is.
And now I know that that's just him doing his job. Like, that's instinctually what he needs to do to protect his people, protect his house. But he's never done anything inappropriate. We're always able to handle him, let him know if someone's supposed to be here that it's okay. And
we've probably been out of focus this whole video. So I apologize for the focus of this video. I just changed the f-stop. We were just filming a video for her channel, and I typically change the f-stop so Moore's in focus because he's always like stepping forward, stepping back. So unfortunately he's sitting on her, so we weren't in focus the whole video, but you get to see this majestic guy anyways.
So my fear was totally irrational, although it may not be if you don't train your dog properly.
Yes. See, the thing is, everyone sees this guy and how sweet he is and how he just looks like a big dope just chilling all the time. He didn't pop out like this. It was literally like so much sacrifice of our lives. Even now, he's 3 and we still have to sacrifice so much of our lives for this guy. But especially that first year and a half, we had no life. Our life was this guy for a year and a half. And that's the truth. If you want one of these guys, it takes a lot of effort to get them to this level where they're just so well behaved and so well trained. It doesn't happen overnight.
Which quite honestly is why it was not a bad thing that I had some fear going into getting this breed, because that little bit of fear made me really take the training component seriously, which I didn't necessarily do with our last dog. And it was just so important. Look at these 2 lovebirds.
He's falling asleep. His eyes are starting to close.
I don't know how to get on video. So it was just really important that I took the training seriously and that I did everything consistently with what Jason was doing to properly train this guy so that he still maintained those guardian instincts. Obviously, that's what he's supposed to do when someone approaches the home, comes into the home. We come in the home, someone's already here, but we've trained him in a way that he handles it appropriately. And he looks to us as his leaders on how he should react in those situations because we've trained him to do so.
And can I go off on a small tangent here? I've seen comments with people saying, well, when I get a Corso, I'm not going to socialize him because I want him to be protective. Absolutely, you are setting yourself up for a massive disaster where most likely your dog's going to attack someone and you're going to literally kill your dog because you're going to have to put him to sleep. You can't not socialize these guys. So anybody who says that, think again, because you're going to ruin your dog's life.
The last fear that I don't know where to go right now.
This is so awkward.
Okay.
It's already hard with just me and him.
Yeah.
Adding a third person in.
I feel like the third wheel, I'm going to be honest.
I think he feels like you're the third wheel too. He's like, I don't want moms on my channel,
I
Dad.
feel like his prom date right now. Last fear that I had, and I think Jason had a little bit too, was just the fact that Jay and I, while we don't travel all the time, we do have different events and things that we go to. We do take trips a couple times a year. And one of our fears was not having somewhere or someone that could watch him, number one, not being willing to due to the breed themselves, or two, the fact that he's not neutered, or three, just not knowing how to handle this breed.
Yep. I've had at least 3 people say no, they won't take him because he's not neutered. And I've had at least 3 or 4, including somebody that watches him now, saying they would never take this breed. And now when the one individual watches him that originally said they would never take this breed, this was before we got him, absolutely loves him.
Obsessed.
Obsessed. Anytime we pick him up, what happens? It's like a 30 to 40 minute conversation of how amazing he is, how loving he is.
They're delighted to have him.
Yes, that's the perfect word. They're like, he is an absolute joy.
He's a joy to have. He's a joy to be around, is what they say.
Yes, yep.
But it was a fear of mine because I didn't want to not be in a situation where we weren't able to ever go anywhere because we didn't have anyone that was willing to watch this guy or be able to handle him appropriately. And I think that's important to look into before you get the breed as well.
Yep. Have all your ducks in a row. I used that line last video.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's kind of a good line. Let's get our ducks in a row.
It is.
Hey, make sure you have all your bases covered before you get one of these guys. Make sure somebody can watch him because if you go out of town, because emergencies happen. You may not travel, but you might have someone who passes away and you have to travel for a funeral. You're not going to miss that. You need someone to watch the dog.
Also, don't wait until you need to have someone watch him. We had him, when he was a puppy, we started getting him out there at daycares and other places.
So he was used to it.
So he was used to it, and also people that maybe thought they wouldn't watch the breed then fell in love with him and better understood the breed and wanted to watch him and were more comfortable with him as he grew into this giant-sized dog.
And on that same note, I wanted him to socialize with other dogs. Now, I've always told my wife, I'm like, I don't care if he doesn't like other dogs. You know, I don't like every single person I see. People watching this probably don't, some of you guys don't like me. So the dog's not going to like every other dog. But what the dog has to be able to do is tolerate other dogs. I don't care if he doesn't like other dogs and want to play with other dogs, but the dog needs to be able to be around other dogs and tolerate them, not go after them, not attack them. This dude absolutely loves other dogs. I need to get some video footage of him playing with like pugs and chihuahuas because I'm sure it's hilarious. Your head is massive. Every time he yawns, I just want to put my head in his mouth. That's everything. That was Kara and I's biggest fear prior to getting Bruce Wayne. Do all the things, like, subscribe, ring the ding-a-lings.
Ring his ding-a-ling!
Check out Kara's channel, Kara Corey Fit Life, for anybody that's interested in fitness, nutrition, just vlogs. Bruce is in all of the videos. So if you just want some day in the life type vlogs with me in them too, that's where you can find that stuff. And we will see you guys the next time. Peace.